Hey guys, it's Flippy here, and welcome to Tana Mongeau, from fame to infamy.
I'm so sorry.
Thousands of fans were left agitated after attending an event meant for them to meet their favorite online influencers.
It was really hot. There were some people that just looked like they were about to pass out.
Hey guys, it's Flippy here, and welcome back to another video on the channel. If you're new here, please make sure to like, subscribe, and if you like the whole video, make sure to smash a like at the end. I'm not going to ask for one now because I haven't earned your like yet. Anyway, let's get straight into this. Tana Mongeau was born on the 24th of June 1998. She started YouTube at 15 years old and quickly took off with her story times in which she would talk about embarrassing and outrageous stories about her personal life, so kind of like the last video we did on Gabby Hanna. One of the reasons that Tana Mongeau blew up in the first place was for her humour and relatability, causing her viewers to feel connected to her, mainly being teenage girls, that kind of audience. So, straight into a controversy, the Idubbbz situation. This was the first big scandal in her career, and it took place in 2017 when she called out Idubbbz on Twitter for the use of the N-word, and Idubbbz responded to that with a video compilation of her saying the N-word. A lot, including the hard R. Then, VidCon that same year, Idubbbz went to go meet Tana Mongeau at her meet and greet, and when they were posing for a picture, because she didn't recognise him somehow, when they were posing for a picture, he said, and yeah, I guess you can guess what kind of word he said to say. This is quite a memorable clip, like everyone knows this clip. She got him kicked out of the event and then released 2 apology videos on it. She came out of this rather unscathed, to be fair, because I think both people in this situation looked awful. It didn't look great on Idubbbz's part, because he was using the N-word a lot publicly, and although he says it's for humour, I don't think that'd necessarily stand now, but it did back then. And, you know, Tana Mongeau got called out for using it a lot as well, so it doesn't look great on either side. No one really won that. Summer 2018, Tana announced that she was going to be hosting her own convention called Tanacon, which doesn't sound narcissistic at all, because of how she felt VidCon had treated her and all the other creators who go there. She felt they were just treating them badly and stuff. And Tana worked with a manager called Michael Weist, or as some people know, Scooter Man. He became quite the meme on the internet. To put together the convention in just 6 months. The convention had a pretty good lineup for the time, including Shane Dawson, Miranda Sings, and Casey Neistat, and for a convention which was meant to be free unless you bought VIP tickets for $65, it was pretty good. And this was a lot more affordable than VidCon was, where they'd have 4-day passes at the same time going for like $180, so this was a lot better. In theory it was a lot better. You see, the venue they had chosen to host the event could only hold a capacity of 5,000 people, and they knew they had sold way more tickets than that, but Tana famously said, fuck it, and just let 20,000 people turn up, and as you may know, didn't end well. Fans waited hours on end outside and long queues waiting to be let into Tanacon with no information on whether they'd actually be able to get in, and there was nowhere for them to go get food or water, and they ended up just suffering horrible sunburns and some even heat strokes. Some people fainted and had to go to the hospital. Tana and Michael tried to reschedule the event for the next day, but eventually just ended up cancelling it because it wasn't going to go well, and it ended up making people wait months and months for a refund on the VIP ticket. And I think, for me at least, Tanacon seems like the big turning point in her career where, like, people started to look at her differently, and it's fair. This was awful. The next controversy, TanaPaul. In 2019, Tana fake married Jake Paul, trying to convince their young fans it was all real, and when in reality, they admitted after that it was fake, after making fans pay $50 to watch a live stream of this fake wedding. And they admitted after they just thought this was all a good business opportunity to cash in on. And it worked because their younger audiences ate it up like candy. In January 2020, Tana got into more drama for her perfume lineup she had launched. She said she used to steal perfume when she was younger, and when she did buy it, it was like the cheapest bottles possible, and this is why she wanted to release her own perfume brand, and obviously they retailed for $48. But weirdly enough, these bottles looked similar to the ones she claimed she used to steal. And fans criticised Tana for the fact that the bottle looked cheap, and people found very similar bottles to it on AliExpress. Jordan Rowona. In summer 2020, Tana got into even more controversy for how she was treating her manager, Jordan Rowona, on her MTV show. Jordan had been Tana's manager for the majority of her career on YouTube. Fans felt that Tana came across as extremely rude to him and entitled, specifically but not exclusive to when she would be screaming and fighting with Jordan. The show painted Tana in like a really bad light, and it showed kind of how irresponsible she looked, and just a bit like a brat. And even at times she would complain that Jordan was worried about her physical health, and it just seems a bit mental to me. In May 2020, Tana also launched an Onlyfans and has made millions on it ever since. Although it being called Tana Uncensored, fans complained that she never really posted anything new, and a lot of the pictures could have just been posted on Instagram. Only a couple months later, into the summer and whatever, Tana faced one of her worst controversies, which is really surprising considering who this is. And this was when two of her old friends called her out for her previous racism. Nessa Briella, who was a former client of Tana's manager, and Kaylin Barry, a former member of Tana's group channel called Trash, which is a pretty accurate title for the channel, made videos detailing Tana's racist actions. While Tana stated that all this stuff was, you know, like petty drama and that, Briella said in her video about how Tana and Jordan would constantly chat shit behind her back and kind of gaslight her to the public and to people, and was also acting racist to her. She also claimed that the pair of them started a rumour that she had schizophrenia, which is not really something you just go around and say people have. It's kind of fucked up. Barry also stated that he kind of felt discriminated against in that when he called her out for her past actions and her past use of the N-word when it resurfaced, she just brushed him off as a quote-unquote angry black man. Barry had apparently tried to reach out to Tana privately before releasing the video, but she ignored him until the public backlash got to so much that she needed to respond to the whole situation. Tana tweeted a public apology to Barry instead of just messaging him privately, and it was clear to see that this just kind of seemed as a way to get the public to forgive her, pretty much. And it was months after all of this, Tana finally released an apology video where she just continues to deflect blame and place it all on her bad upbringing. And this apology video currently sits on a 27% like ratio, so it's clear to see people didn't like it. Anyway, guys, that was my video on Tana Mongeau, and what do you think to Tana Mongeau? Do you think she's a good creator? I don't think you should be thinking that if you've seen all this stuff here, but if you're new to the channel and you haven't checked out my previous videos, make sure to go check out my video on Gabby Hanna, where I go deep dive into her career, and please make sure to like and subscribe on your way out. Make sure to leave a comment as well if you enjoyed this video. Thank you, goodbye.